let's try this again. So, when I run my game and I press the mouse button to shoot, I should see a little effect and a bullet appear. Click, click, click. There's my little mouse glitch. However, right now, the bullets get removed, but they don't actually go anywhere. They don't have any behaviors yet. So, let's add some behaviors. I'm going to head to my bullet prefab, and I have already built a bit of a script for this. So I'm going to go into my scripts, and it is called Ammo Manager. I'm just going to drag it over here, and let's take a look at what the script is meant to do. My Ammo Manager keeps track of my bullet speed, and I'm also going to be adding some other asset that I came across. I'm calling it Hit Explosion, and it's a game object. This is kind of a more complex object. It's not exactly a particle system, but it does have kind of a particle explosion effect, as well as some physics attached to it. It's a cool thing that I just came across in my searching through the asset store, and I want to try it out and see how it works. So what I'm going to do is, in my update, I'm going to have the bullet's position be adjusted by some amount. Move forward, times time of the time, multiplied by the bullet speed, with this little method called transform direction. This transforms direction from local space to world space. So what this means is that the bullet is not going to be following the path of me, the player, any longer. It's free to flow on its own in the world. Basically, it's like, I don't want the bullet to be turning when my character turns, obviously, so I'm detaching it from me. So I'm allowing its transform to be completely separated. I also want to have collision enabled. And we'll look at this a little bit later, but I've built a tag called hittable for things that I want to be able to be hit, of course. And if something is bullet collides with something that's hittable, then what I want to have it do is actually have that explosion be created at the bullet's position when it hits. And then I want the bullet to be destroyed. So here's how the explosion is going to be triggered. So quick summary, how the bullet moves on its own in space, how the bullet triggers its explosion effect. Next, we need to actually attach this explosion and choose a speed. Let's make our bullet go, I don't know, kind of slow enough that we can see it. And then I want to attach this explosion effect. So in here, I have this explosion already gathered that I can attach. And if I click on it, I see that it has some of its own lighting. It has some of its own physics forces and particle system multipliers. It's just an object I got from the asset store, and I thought it was a cool one, so I wanted to play around with it. So I'm just instantiating it and letting it do its own thing in the way that it's been created. So I want to make sure, finally, if it's going to let me, oh, I'm in my game view, that I have hittable tagged on these different world objects. So my obstacles should be tagged as hittable from the top of the hierarchy, excuse me. And the ground should be hittable so that it can be interacted with for now. And let's just see what happens. Are my bullets going to fly? Are they going to do something when they hit? Let's just see right now. I don't want to exit my stupid mouse glitch. Stop it. Okay, so my bullet does fly now. Whatever way I'm facing, the bullet flies. And if I shoot it at something, let's see what happens here. Wow, huge explosion. And it has a collision force that basically anything that it hits, it applies a force to it. This is not something I'm going to talk about too much right now, but if you're really interested in some deeper physics ideas, take a look in the project I provided for you on this explosion prefab under the explosion physics force script. There's a bunch of information about adding to the rigid body forces based off of some looking at all of the components and applying particle system to it. Pretty interesting. I'm going to leave that to the side for now, however. So awesome. What we've had done in this much shorter video finally is make sure that bullet knows how to move and explode. And the last thing I want to say right now that's really important for how I've designed this project is that my prefab bullet, it knows how to move and how to create that explosion on its own. That's something that the gun and the player know nothing about. What does the actual player know? The first person player object? It only knows that it kind of has all of these components that are following it around everywhere. It also knows how to move forward and backwards. The head only really knows how to look up and down and to follow the player. The gun only knows just follow what the head and player do. The muzzle knows, finally, I can actually make a bullet when the mouse is clicked. And then the bullet knows, once I exist, I can move and create explosions. So I've packaged up functionality in the places that most need to know about it, so that it keeps nice and organized and that things only know about the stuff that they need to know. In the next video, we're going to expand our bullet chamber to have lots of different types of bullets, or at least one other type. See you in the next one.